Hey, Nick, thanks for doing this.
Bruce.
Um, so you are more often out there on penalty kills right now with Jenner, I've noticed recently, but you have been out there with Cam a number of times and set him up with a couple of breakaways that ended up being goals, I believe, or chances. How nice is it to be out there on a penalty kill, knowing that you can hit a guy like that and he's got a shot like that that could lead to a goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think just Cam, the way he reads, especially anticipates on a penalty kill. I mean, he's just a threat, and it's 5-on-5, it's power play, and that's why he's a complete package for us. And in that, in shorthanded, he can be a threat even when he's killing. Obviously, he does his job killing the penalty first, but knows there's points to go. And when you play with a guy like that, it's fun because you have an opportunity to being on the other side of it as a power play guy. You know how it's in the back of your mind when there's a guy that can score on the penalty kill. And so it's nice to have that mindset sometimes when you're out there, and you can create so much momentum by just a scoring chance. And Cam's found ways to create scoring chances and then also bury goals at timely times. And he's a big part of our success on special teams.
Yeah, not every team necessarily has a guy like that, who's a top line player, top six player, whatever, who really scores a lot of points, who's also willing to just hop over the boards at any time and say, hey, yeah, I'll go out there and kill penalties. Does that make him, kind of a special player in that regard?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why he's relied upon in so many situations on our team and just what he can bring. And he plays in all facets and trusted in every area. So it's good to see him being rewarded for the hard work that he creates, and especially on the penalty kill. And he's really turned it on of late here and been a big part of what it is that we need out of our team. That's obviously the timely goals and offense, and he's a driver in that.
Last one for me is kind of shifting gears to last game and to this game. Just how important is it for you guys to try and carry that momentum, that you guys created there forward tonight?
Well, it's exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, we're trying to get on a roll here the other way. Obviously, we went through a pretty tough time, and it only goes away by finding another way to get another win. To find a way to play another good game, and even up the ante from that game. So we're excited. They're a good team. They haven't played a ton, and so we have an opportunity to play a good style on the road. Which we've done okay on the road, but haven't had the success that we'd like. So it's a great opportunity for us just to come in and build off the last game and the energy that we felt from our crowd. And I'm understanding there's going to be fans in the crowd tonight, so it's nice to have that atmosphere again and get into a road game where we need some timely wins.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to Dave Metzel. Go ahead, Metzi.
Thanks, Todd. Good morning, Nick. I want to talk to you a little bit about just that brief message to the fans the other day. And Cam talked about when he was being interviewed by Jody on the bench, that there was some emotion there. What was the emotion like in that moment for you, recognizing the significance of what had happened there?
Yeah, I just think it's a great opportunity for us to just say thank you to the fans for sticking with us. This has been a hard year for everybody, and the fans especially. We get to play a game, but they're a lot of them are facing real life situations, and whether they're frontline workers or on the front lines of this pandemic. So I wanted to make sure they knew how much we appreciate their support, and that's one thing we've always felt from our fan base. No matter what, even if we can't see them, we can feel them, and we can we see their support and how they embrace this team. And we felt it even in the bubble, the amount of people that were watching and cheering us on from far. And it was just nice to have them back in the building. I think it's a sign of a progress and all the work that people have done to date to get us back in that building. I think it was a nice feeling. It felt right, and hopefully we can get more and more fans back in and get that atmosphere as electric. Because even it felt with 2,000 people. I mean, it was amazing just how loud they were for 2,000. I understand we're going to go up to 4,000 here pretty soon. And that's, it's a thrill for us. I mean, that's why we play the game. Part of the reason. I mean, we love playing in front of fans. We love playing in front of a sold out arena. That's why we work to get to this spot in our careers. And the fifth line is, I think, some of the best fans in the league in the game. So it was really nice to be out there with them.
I also want to ask you about Seth and Z when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, when they are providing that engine for the team. What is that like? And when that clicks, what's that like to be on the ice with them when they're on top of their game?
Well, you can even see it in last game, just the way they can manufacture offense just from their abilities, and also just how we break out of our end. And So much gets talked about them and fairly and unfairly, just the players they are. But it's what they bring to the team. They really are the engine back there of how we play a lot of nights, just with the way they can break us out, with the way they can control games, they can settle it down, they can up the pace. But you saw Z darting through holes, coming up through the neutral zone. It's hard to defend. We do it in practice against them, and they just slice and dice us all the time. And I know what it's like, obviously in practice. So I can imagine in a game how much more confidence we get when we start to see them do that. It opens up plays for us as forwards, and I think they're starting to feel more like themselves. So it's a huge boost to us to when they play like that and the abilities that they have. That's why they're talked about. That's why they're such a big part of this team, and we're very lucky to have them.
My last one for you is having scored 2 goals by going between your legs, you are uniquely qualified to critique Z's effort the other night between his legs. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a good effort. Good try. We'll talk a little bit more about it. I'll try to get some video clips and teach him some things, but I love that. That's how creative that guy is, man. I mean, never a moment where he's not trying to score a goal, and it almost went. It would have been beautiful if he figured out a way to get that one in.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.
And next we'll go to Owen Newkirk. Go ahead, Owen.
Hi, Nick. You guys just played the Nashville Predators 4 times in the span of 11 days at the end of February. And I was just looking at the calendar. It looks like you're going to play the Dallas Stars 4 times in 11 days. Just kind of wondered what your thoughts were on that many games in that short of a time period against the same opponent.
Well, you just realize the magnitude of each game, right? You have a chance to play against a team in your division 4 times and try to get on the right side of it. And unfortunately, we didn't get that done with Nashville, but a great opportunity, against a Dallas team that hasn't played much, and they're going to be playing a lot of hockey down the stretch here. So, we know what's at stake. We understand the position that we're in, and how important these games are. And I think it was maybe a good test for us to kind of go through it and see what can happen when you don't get on the right side of those games. And we're looking forward to just playing, a better brand of hockey, which I think we are starting to do. From when we played Nashville to now, I think we're a lot different team mentally and just the way we've handled ourselves here defensively. And so we're looking forward to just keep getting better, keep putting that forward, and knowing that this is a really dangerous team. They can score goals. They have they're obviously Stanley Cup finalists last year. So we have our hands full, but we're excited about where we're at and playing better hockey and just continuing trying to grow and get better here.
I'm certainly not complaining, but I must say I looked at your game schedule for the month of March, and I'm a bit envious because I see 3 straight non-game days in a row, even a couple with 2, which Dallas will have 1 or 0 days off between games between now and May 10th. With that being said, when you see things like a schedule of 40 games in 70 days, what kind of concerns for player health do you have when you see that?
Well, just the recovery. I mean, that's really what it comes down to is just, there's so much demanded of you every game. To try and recover in such short time it's hard, and I'm sure these guys, especially how deep they went last year, and it'll be of concern, I'm sure, and it's something they're going to focus on. But even for us with the schedule, it's amazing how excited you are for those 3 days in between games, or even 2 days in between games. It's a lot of hockey, but it's what we signed up for. It's what we wanted. At the end of the day, we want to play hockey, and I'm sure they're going to figure out a way. This is the world everyone's got to navigate right now, and unfortunate for them, obviously, but I think it beats the alternative of not playing at all, and that's life. So I mean, we knew it was going to be a weird year, but I'm happy, I guess, in a way. It's not our team that has to go through that, knock on wood. So we'll see how things go.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make any excuses for the Stars. They're going to have to play the games that their schedule gives them. But just lastly for me, when you face a player like Jamie Benn, a fellow captain, a guy like you who has an extensive career and a lot of experience in the league, is there something special about that, going head to head with another team's captain, both of whom, it's not a guy that's in his 2nd or 3rd year. Do you ever get into that at all during the game, or are you too focused on your team and your play?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think too much about it. I have a lot of respect for him as a player. Obviously, he plays the game hard. He's obviously a great captain, and has done well for his team. So I think just sometimes you get excited to play against captains like that, or teams like that are well led. And but yeah, it's funny, you don't really think about that stuff too often. You're just trying to win the game, and I'm always trying to do it as a team. So it's just nice to play against well coached and hard nosed players and teams, and that's what Dallas seems to be. So it's always a good game between us two.